Welcome to day 4 of the Crossfront Sew Along. Today we're sewing steps 11 through 15 to finish the pattern. You can buy this pattern at the link in the description. Step 11 is sewing the side seams. Start pinning from the edge of the sleeve and go all the way down the side seams. The back bodice has 3 notches labeled B, C, and D that correspond with the notches on the front skirt and front bodices to help you match them up at the side seams. If you are adding pockets, be sure to follow around the pocket curve as you sew. If you're making view B, notch D on the back will line up with the bottom of the overlapped bands of the front skirt, which should be basted together by now. Mine's not though. If you're adding a slit to the sides of your skirt, only pin and sew to where you want the slit to start. Sew and repeat for the other side. It's best to use a sewing machine if you're doing the skirt slit so that you can press the entire seam open, but I used a serger, so I'm making small slits, then pressing the seam open on each side, tapering in just a little because I serged off about 1/8 of an inch at the side seam. If you used a sewing machine and pressed your entire seam open, you don't have to do the slits or press this little bit at the top open either. A lot of times when I try to make things easier by using my serger, I make more work for myself. You're going to top stitch from the bottom, going up and pivoting at each corner and back down. So you're top stitching up one side, then with the needle down, lift the presser foot and pivot. Sew the little bit at the top, needle down, presser foot up, pivot again, and then go down the other side. Not too shabby. You'll press the bottom under and hem around the bottom edge. Our seam allowance is 3/4 of an inch. Hold that amount to the wrong side, then press. I like to add clips so I know it stays in place while it cools. And do that for the whole bottom of the skirt and as well as the hem of the sleeves if you're not adding bands. If you are hemming the sleeves, after this step you're done. Step 14 is prepping the sleeve cuffs. Fold the cuff in half widthwise with right sides together. Fold again lengthwise and sew the short end. Now turn it right side out, enclosing the seam you just sewed. Place the cuff over the end of the sleeve with the fold of the cuff pointing in toward the shoulder and all raw edges together. Match the seam of the cuff to the seam of the sleeve. Sew together around raw edges. You can flip the cuff out and top stitch if you want. Repeat for the other sleeve and cuff. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe and come back next month for our Bella Sew Along.